Hey everyone, first thing first, I'd like to thank Kumulayo for having me at this event and thank everyone who is attending the webinar. I am Muhammet Enginar and today I will talk a little bit about no code and then I will go over the importance of user onboarding and connect these topics to each other. For starters, I would like to just introduce myself and what I do at UserGuiding. I am a self-taught software enthusiast. Currently, I'm the co-founder and CTO of UserGuiding. We've been helping businesses improve their user onboarding experiences for almost 4 years now. Before UG, I worked on many software projects as the co-founder of a software outsourcing agency. You can connect with me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer. So let's hop into it. Let's start with no code. The term no code refers to the method and the movement of programming that does not necessarily involve writing code, but instead works with graphic user interface tools. So, for example, let's say you want to create a website that works similar to Instagram. You would need to hire a couple of web developers, but thanks to no code, you can create your own version of Instagram without having to code. Thanks to a no code product called Bubble. It would look crappy for now, but it would function, and that's what's important for most businesses. And Bubble is just one of the no-code tools you can utilize, and creating an app is just one of the use cases. But I will dive deeper into this in the next slide. Yeah, I'm guessing the question is obvious. Why would a software engineer such as myself talk about something that would one day take my job from me? The answer is simple. I have common sense. In 50 years, a human will be able to create almost any application without coding. So instead of resisting the change, I'm supporting it. Someone will have to create the no code development platforms. Am I right? Um, and plus, I'm not the only one with a technical background that advocates for no code. The former CEO of GitHub, Chris Wanshart, that was one of the many names in the software industry that backed no code by saying that the future of coding is no coding at all. That's a great saying. For complex products, yes, developers will be necessary to maintain and create software, but simple products will be and actually can be created with no-code tools. Another question that pops into mind at this point would be why? Why choose no-code tools over developers? So, what are the benefits of no-code? Although the answer is obvious, I will go over a few benefits of no-code tools. Mm, First of all, it empowers the citizen developers. People with no technical background can easily realize their product ideas to some extent, and the need for developers would be decreased significantly. No code tools are also budget friendly in 21 where developer salaries are over the roof. Believe me, I would know as someone who has hired 7, 8 developers in the last few months. No-code tools are much more cost-effective in creating simple products. Also, a no-code tool enables you to be more agile, meaning you can create or change things faster. Another benefit of the no-code movement is that it enables you to compete with top dogs of your industry. I'm implying those tech giants that hire 50 developers for a few lines of code. There is no way you can compete with massive development teams of these companies unless you have a team of similar size. And no code tools allow you to be agile, as I mentioned before, and catch up to these top dogs. And one of the most important benefits of no code tools, in my opinion, is that you can just step right in. Really, you might just have an idea and you don't need to draw out a project or establish a plan. You can use the ready to use templates most no code tools offer and start getting shit done. To me, that is such a huge power. I mentioned that you can step right in. But what exactly can you step into? So, what can you do with no code tools, especially in 21? Well, basically anything. But some use cases of no code are more widespread and optimized than others. I will go over the core use cases of no code tools now. And obviously, first thing comes to mind is the product development. Imagine this: you have a product idea, and you don't have to be a programmer and don't have to hire a programmer to make it real. If you want to create web products, Bubble.io should be your go-to no-code product. With Bubble, you can choose from many ready-to-use app templates and jump right in. Customize your app and set it live. Fun fact: Bubble is one of the pioneers of no code, and they offer tons of educational content around the approach. If you are more focused on mobile applications, however, Adalo, a product similar to Bubble but more useful for mobile development, should be your go-to. Adolo is easily one of the most innovative and simple to use no-code tools I have ever seen. The next use case for no-code tools is obviously the most commonly used one. I'm sure you come across those Wix.com or GoDaddy advertisements that say that you can create your own website in minutes, and they are actually right. I'd like to talk about more advanced tools for building websites such as Webflow, a no-code website builder that is easy to use and pretty customizable. There is almost no limit to your creativity in the tool, and from setup to iteration, it provides you with all the tools and resources you might need. Shopify, on the other hand, is perfect for creating your own online business and running it without any frictions. Since it specializes in e-commerce, there are dozens of tools and apps that you can use to create and improve your online store without coding. Another use case of no-code tools we are straying away from development here are integration and automation. No-code tools for automation and integration solve a problem rather than realizing an idea. That problem, of course, is the requirement for countless lines of code to make two different products work in harmony. Zapier, another pioneer of no code, comes into play right here. They are by far the best automation and integration tool you can find with the largest app pool. You can connect different apps in minutes and automate workflows with Zapier, which is a huge relief for multiple teams in a company. So, with no-code tools, you can also simplify data gathering, visualization, and sharing. The word data for a lot of non-technical people is a headache itself. But analyzing and acting on data has such a huge value that these non-technical people shouldn't be left out. So no code comes to our aid once again on this part. And obviously, Kumulayo, a name we are all familiar with, and the host of this event, offers a product that helps us create beautiful dashboards for teams and for clients without coding. It's a dashboarding miracle for non-technical and technical people alike. And others to mention here, Mode and Looker allow you to connect and share data, and I could name many other examples, such as Mixpanel and Google Analytics that help a great deal in utilization of data. And the next and final common use case is user onboarding. But I wanted this part to be a section in itself because that's where we specialize in. And I think I have a few valuable insights on this part I can offer. So, onboarding your users with interactive content without coding. Yes, creating products without coding is an unbelievable achievement. Integrating and automating different apps save you a ton of time, and making data accessible to everyone offers valuable insights. You might be wondering if a few tooltips and models are that important in no code. I would say it is somewhere between yes, it's a little important, and absolutely it's crucial. You are not creating something new, but you are making the user experience of an existing product maybe 10 times better. And this could be your competitive edge. Let's start by defining what user onboarding means. So, what is user onboarding? User onboarding refers to the process in which user gets proficient in a product or service. For digital products, it usually starts with sign up and ends as the user gets acquainted with the core value of the product and how they can achieve it. User onboarding is arguably the most challenging and crucial part of a user's journey with your business, since this is the part that you should strike a great first impression. I will explain the importance of user onboarding in the following slides, but first I would like to show you an example of a user onboarding experience. And being a little subjective, maybe user guiding's own user onboarding process is the perfect candidate in my eyes. I don't know, maybe I just want to show off our user experience. So let's take a look at user guidings, user onboarding experience. When a user first visits our product, of course, the user will have to create an account. We ask a few details if they are signing up with email, if they are signing up with Google. However, they will access the product with a single click. Once the user is signed up, they log into our dashboard for the first time, and we ask them a couple of questions right away to personalize their experience and learn a more bit about them. This is called progressive profiling, and it can be used to learn more about your customers during the onboarding process. So they answer a few questions and then access the dashboard. When in dashboard, they are welcomed with a welcome model. As you can see, our customer success manager Suzan welcomes user here. This is the human ingredient, very important. Get your user very warmly welcomed. And Suzan here tells them she will guide them through their onboarding process. Hopefully, they will succeed. So once the user skips this model, they have full access to dashboard if they want to start exploring right away. And there is a user onboarding checklist that contains the key onboarding tasks that they can accomplish to learn more about user guidance feature. You see, they already signed up to our product, and this specific user has already installed our Chrome extension, so they are almost halfway through the onboarding process. When they click an action item from the checklist, they are directed to an interactive guide which shows them around. In this case, when they click create your first guide on the checklist, they are shown the guides feature and how it works. When they complete all of the checklist items and learn about the core features of the product, they are then left to explore and master the product. Of course, they can access knowledge base articles and other interactive guides to learn more about the product, but core features are sufficient for them to get onboarded with the value of the product. But as I asked myself during my early days at user guiding, is this all really necessary? I mean, the UI is pretty obvious and one can find their way around eventually, right? Not really. I'm a technical person myself. I've used and created many different software products, and I can find my way around any software product easily. I actually enjoy a challenge. But you will be surprised to know that most users of software product are not that up for the challenge. They already have challenges they are facing for their businesses and they come to your product for a solution. So why make it hard on them? Why is user onboarding important? So, no, a decent user onboarding experience educates the user, provides them with the info they need for using the product. When you educate users with interactive and efficient content, you are provided with numerous advantages such as improved retention and decreased churn rates because users can more easily access your value, and it creates a high performing user base, which means that your users are more capable in using your product. More capable users mean that they achieve more value from your product, which improves their relationship with your business and turn them into brand advocates and fans. Also, as you answer the questions about your product at the start of the user journey, you effectively reduce the workload of your customer support, who will no longer have to answer repetitive questions. And lastly, with an automated user onboarding process, you don't need sales or support representatives to onboard users, meaning that you can scale your business wherever and whenever you want. It's all automated. Basically, a better user onboarding has countless benefits to many aspects of your business. So the question now is, since you understand the importance of this process, how can you improve your user onboarding experience? If your product is digital, you can either create an interactive user onboarding experience in-house, or we praise them for it, easily get it done with no-code tools. I summarized the benefits of no-code tools before, but let's go over a few ways no-code tools are superior to in-house development for user onboarding, just to make everything clear. So, why should you use no-code tools to onboard users? First of all, money. You save a ton of them and time on the development of interactive user experience elements and user onboarding flows using no code. You can hire two developers and a designer to create a few interactive guides and the user onboarding checklist, but it would take at least a few weeks to create something significant. Instead, with no code tools, you can cut on these codes for developers and designers and create that user onboarding experience yourself in a matter of minutes. Secondly, you can be more agile on maintenance. Let's not kid ourselves. A product changes a lot all the time. Your user interface at day one and a year later will not be the same. You will find some optimizations, add new features, delete some maybe, who knows. It will change eventually. When creating a user onboarding in-house, updating your interactive user onboarding content can be a pain in the ass. And with no-code tools, this update can be done in just a few clicks. And lastly, you can catch up to your competitors in the user onboarding game. In 21, users switch products like they are switching seats at a musical chairs game. And believe me, a poor user onboarding can be the reason for these switches so often. I mean, I get it. Your competitor has a huge development and design teams, and their onboarding content looks so good. And with no code tools, I'm not saying you will have the best user onboarding content around right away, but you will have everything you need to make it a satisfying experience. Okay, I hear you asking, well, Mohammed, this sounds great. Point me in the direction of those no-code user onboarding tools. And I'd like to do just that before finishing my presentation. So, user guiding, our own tool, is a no-code user onboarding tool you can use to do everything I mentioned. I know this will sound subjective, but to me, user guiding is the best onboarding software out there. This is simply because when we developing it, we had just one thing in mind: make it simple and effective so anyone can create beautiful user onboarding experiences. And our experience so far has proven us right. With user guiding, you can create interactive guides, in-app messages, tooltips, user onboarding checklists, and self-serve resource centers. Now, I'd like to conclude my presentation with a few key takeaways from what I told you about. So, in 21, you can create almost any basic product with no code tools, and the field will definitely improve in the future and make no code mainstream. You not only can create products, but automate stuff, collect and share data, create fully functioning websites, onboard users, and do much more with no code. And user onboarding is the most important part of a user's journey. This is where you tell the user about the core value of your product and how they can achieve it. And with the help of no code here, you can easily create a user onboarding process, just like the user onboarding flow I showed you, which was created with user guiding for user guiding. So finally, I'd like to thank you all for joining this event and thank Kumulayo again for hosting such a valuable event. Thanks.